Have you ever felt like you didn't quite fit in, or had dreams that seemed to predict the future? You're not alone. Many people go through life feeling a subtle pull towards something bigger, something they can't quite explain. But what if I told you that these feelings, these seemingly random experiences, are actually signs? Signs that you were chosen for something special even from the very beginning. It's a bold claim, but it's not just a fantasy. This phenomenon is rooted in spiritual wisdom, ancient teachings, and even modern psychology. And here's the kicker. Most people overlook these signs entirely, going through life unaware of they. The truth is, being chosen doesn't always mean you're destined for fame or fortune. Sometimes, it means that you're here for a purpose that goes far beyond the material world, one that touches the core of who you are. But how do you know if you're one of the chosen? That's where things get interesting. You see, while some signs are obvious, others are subtle, hidden in the fabric of your daily life. In fact, the most powerful signs are often the ones people least expect. And today we're going to dive into 5 lesser-known signals that reveal whether you've been marked for a higher calling from the very start. If any of this resonates with you, it's time to look closer. These aren't just coincidences, they're a blueprint for your journey. As we explore these signs together, you'll begin to understand how they've been guiding you all along. Ready to uncover what's been hidden in plain sight? From a young age, some children experience dreams that seem more intense and vivid than usual. These aren't your average dreams, but visions filled with symbolism that appear to carry messages or even predict future events. Often, these dreams manifest with such striking clarity that it's as if these children have a window into another reality. A child might dream of something seemingly trivial, only for it to become significant over time, revealing events they had no way of knowing. These types of dreams are a strong sign that something larger is at play. For example, there are countless stories of people who, as kids, had recurring dreams about historical events or personal situations that later came to pass. Perhaps you've had this experience too. Those dreams that felt like they were preparing you for something even if you couldn't quite grasp why. Ancient cultures like those of the indigenous peoples or the Egyptians always valued dreams as direct messages from the divine or from ancestors. Those who have this connection from an early age have the ability to interpret the world in ways others simply cannot. If you recognize this pattern in your own dreams, the next step is learning how to interpret what these signs are trying to tell you. The key is to pay attention to the details and the emotions that accompany these dreams. What do they stir within you? Sometimes, dreams are directly tied to your intuition, guiding your choices and decisions. And this leads us to another lesser-known sign that may indicate you were chosen from the beginning. That persistent feeling of not fully belonging to this world. Many people from a very young age experience an overwhelming feeling that they don't quite fit in. It's not just about being different in a small way. It's an intrinsic sense of disconnection from the world around them. Maybe as a child, you felt like an outsider, as if you were observing life from a distance rather than truly participating. This feeling often leads to questioning why you don't blend in or why certain societal norms never seem to resonate with you. But this sense of being different could be the very sign that you were meant for something far beyond the ordinary. Throughout history, countless figures who were seen as outcasts in their early years went on to shape the world in significant ways. Think of individuals like Albert Einstein or even spiritual leaders like the Buddha, who were misunderstood in their youth but later became forces of change. When you feel like you don't belong, it might be because you're not meant to follow the same path as everyone else. Instead, you're being prepared for a journey that requires a different level of understanding and awareness. Embrace this feeling of being unique as a call to something bigger. Rather than resisting the sensation of not belonging, it's important to channel that energy into self-awareness and growth. Use that isolation to reflect on your true purpose and how you can stand apart in a way that serves both you and the world around you. It's a powerful realization, knowing that your difference is a strength, not a weakness. And speaking of powerful connections, another sign that could show you were chosen from the start is an unusual bond with the natural world, one that goes beyond curiosity and into something deeply spiritual. From a young age, some people feel an extraordinary connection with nature that goes beyond a mere fascination. Maybe you've always been drawn to animals, plants, or the natural world in a way that others around you weren't. This isn't just about loving nature. It's about feeling a deep, almost spiritual bond with it. You might find yourself more at peace in the woods or by the ocean, sensing that the natural world is speaking to you in ways that go beyond words. This connection often comes as an innate part of those who are chosen for something greater. In many spiritual traditions, nature is seen as a guide for those with special purposes. For instance, shamans and healers in indigenous cultures often show an early, profound link to the earth and its elements. They recognize the wisdom in the wind, the healing in plants, or the teachings from animals. If you've always had an intense relationship with the natural world, it could be a sign that you are meant to draw guidance and wisdom from it as you walk your path. Think of people like John Muir or Thoreau, who found not just solace but answers in their connection with nature. The key is to cultivate this connection consciously. Spend more time outdoors, notice the patterns and rhythms of the earth, and allow it to teach you. Whether it's meditating under a tree, walking barefoot on the ground, or simply observing animals, these practices can deepen your bond with nature. This connection will help you navigate life's challenges, offering you clarity and insight when you need it most. And as you nurture this bond, you'll likely notice another sign. A strong intuition, the kind that can't be explained but always seems to lead you in the right direction. From an early age, you may have experienced moments where you just knew something without any logical explanation. These intuitive flashes often come out of nowhere, whether it's sensing when something bad is about to happen or knowing the right decision to make, even when the facts don't seem to add up. For those who are chosen, intuition isn't just a hunch. It's a powerful guide that helps them navigate life's complexities. You might have found yourself trusting your gut more than others, and over time, you probably realized that your instincts rarely led you astray. Intuition is a skill that can be refined, and those who are truly in tune with it often find themselves making decisions that defy logic, but feel deeply right. Think about people like Steve Jobs, who often spoke of trusting his intuition to guide his groundbreaking ideas. If you've ever had an inexplicable feeling about something or someone, and later found out you were correct, you've likely experienced this special form of guidance. It's as if a higher power is nudging you in the right direction, preparing you for the path ahead. To strengthen your intuition, it's important to practice listening to that inner voice. Pay attention to those moments when a thought or feeling arises without explanation. Meditation, journaling, and even practicing mindfulness can help you tap into this ability more effectively. When you trust your intuition, it leads you to make choices that align with your true purpose. And speaking of purpose, another little-known sign that you were chosen early on is a deep curiosity about ancient and spiritual knowledge, something that often starts in childhood. From a young age, you might have been drawn to subjects that most children wouldn't think about, things like philosophy, spirituality, or ancient cultures. While other kids were interested in cartoons or games, you found yourself fascinated by deeper topics, perhaps spending hours reading about ancient civilizations, sacred texts, or spiritual philosophies. This early curiosity often signals that you're not just seeking ordinary knowledge but are being pulled toward timeless wisdom that holds meaning beyond the surface of everyday life. It's as if your soul recognizes that this ancient knowledge is part of your journey. Those who have been chosen often feel an innate thirst for understanding life's bigger questions. Whether it's studying ancient religions or exploring esoteric philosophies, this attraction is a sign that you're meant to uncover truths that go beyond the ordinary. Figures like Leonardo da Vinci or Carl Jung exemplified this deep yearning for knowledge, connecting their intellectual pursuits with spiritual and philosophical insights. If you've always been intrigued by ancient wisdom, it's not just out of curiosity. It's a sign that you are meant to carry that knowledge forward and apply it in your own life. To nurture this connection, continue exploring these subjects with an open mind. Dive deeper into ancient texts, attend lectures, or even participate in discussions that broaden your understanding of the spiritual world. Whether it's reading books on the teachings of the Buddha, studying ancient Greek philosophers, or learning about indigenous wisdom, these pursuits can help you align with your purpose. As you pursue this path, remember that recognizing these signs is just the beginning. Now it's time to embrace them fully and let them guide you toward your greater destiny. Have you ever felt like you didn't quite fit in, or had dreams that seemed to predict the future? You're not alone. Many people go through life feeling a subtle pull towards something bigger, something they can't quite explain. But what if I told you that these feelings, these seemingly random experiences, are actually signs? Signs that you were chosen for something special even from the very beginning. It's a bold claim, but it's not just a fantasy. This phenomenon is rooted in spiritual wisdom, ancient teachings, and even modern psychology. And here's the kicker. Most people overlook these signs entirely, going through life unaware of their true potential. The truth is, being chosen doesn't always mean you're destined for fame or fortune. Sometimes, it means that you're here for a purpose that goes far beyond the material world, one that touches the core of who you are. But how do you know if you're one of the chosen? That's where things get interesting. You see, while some signs are obvious, others are subtle, hidden in the fabric of your daily life. In fact, the most powerful signs are often the ones people least expect. And today we're going to dive into 5 lesser-known signals that reveal whether you've been marked for a higher calling from the very start. If any of this resonates with you, it's time to look closer. These aren't just coincidences, they're a blueprint for your journey. As we explore these signs together, you'll begin to understand how they've been guiding you all along. Ready to uncover what's been hidden in plain sight? Now that you've uncovered these hidden signs, it's time to ask yourself, which of these have you experienced? Have you always felt different, like you didn't belong, or had dreams that seemed to mean more than just random thoughts? These aren't just quirky aspects of your life. They're signals calling you to explore a deeper path. But recognizing these signs is just the beginning. The real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue down the same road, or will you embrace your role and step into your true purpose? Think about it. How would your life change if you started paying attention to these signs and letting them guide you? Imagine the clarity, the sense of direction, and the fulfillment that would come from knowing you're aligned with something greater. It's not just about understanding these signals. It's about taking action. What's stopping you from embracing this deeper purpose today? What could be holding you back from becoming the person you were always meant to be? If you're ready to take that next step, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. This is where you'll find more guidance, more insights, and the tools you need to continue this journey. Don't miss out on what's coming next. It's going to be life-changing. Let's keep exploring together, and remember, the signs are there for a reason. Are you ready to follow them?